My first album made $170 million, but I still ended up going bankrupt.
This is Pocket Watching with JT.
Hey, Pocket Watchers, welcome to Bankruptcy Breakdown. We have a comment from a subscriber. They said, great video. Toni Braxton would be a great one since she had to file twice. All right, so here we go. Miss Toni Braxton. She is an absolute icon. She is an icon in R&B. She is a songwriter, a singer. Now, most of you kids may only really know her based on being a TV personality and her relationship with Birdman from Cash Money Records. But hold on for a second. Let's just take it back to the 1990s just for a moment. Right? Just for a moment, let's take it back to the 1990s. This woman was discovered at a gas station while singing to herself. All right? When her debut album came out in 1993, it was such a massive hit that it generated $170 million in global sales. She won 3 Grammys on her debut album. Hold on. But let me tell you something more personal. She was probably most known for this particular song, Unbreak My Heart. Hold on. Now, understand, this was during the time where there was no online video on demand service. You couldn't just type up the video you want to watch and watch it. You had to sit in front of VH1, BET, or MTV and waited for your favorite video to come on. And I can tell you right now, even though I was a kid, when I heard Unbreak My Heart, everything would stop. I'm turning up the volume. And still to this day, if I hear Unbreak My Heart, the volume goes up. I can close my eyes right now and I can see the music video. Oh yeah, I can see old boy hopping on the motorcycle. I can see them playing Twister. I can close my eyes right now and see Toni crying her heart out. Not just in the living room, in the hallways, crying her heart out in the shower too. I'm telling you, this song was a major hit. Major hit. She's even crying her heart out at a concert with a full orchestra behind her. Unbreak My Heart was a smash hit. Now, you got to ask yourself the question. If she was able to generate $170 million on her first album, she, over her whole career, has 7 Grammy Awards, 9 Billboard Music Awards, and 7 American Music Awards. So how did she end up on Bankruptcy Breakdown? All right. Now it's time to get into the numbers. Here we go. Now, Miss Braxton did not file for bankruptcy once, she filed for it twice. She filed Chapter 7. For those of you who are still unaware, Chapter 7 bankruptcy is the total liquidation type of bankruptcy. It's the common thing that people think about when they hear the term bankruptcy. This Chapter 7 bankruptcy allows a person to be able to get a fresh start, to discharge all of their debt, right? To walk away with very bad credit, but to walk away from the debt. Now, she filed back in 1998, Now, this was mostly triggered by predatory contracts. Now, this is going to be a reoccurring theme on Bankruptcy Breakdown. When it comes to rappers, R&B artists, predatory contracts. We're going to dig a little deeper into that in a second. Then she filed again in 2010. Now, 2010, once again, had issues with predatory contracts, but also she had some health issues that caused the problem as well. Her health issues forced her to stop her residency in Vegas. These are the live shows, high ticket live shows that these recording artists do in Vegas that bring in a lot of money. Well, if she's hit with a health problem, now she has these health bills and she does not have the ability to bring in the money. It's a double whammy. It's a double whammy. So let's go over this. Now, her reported income. Now, this is based on the 2010 bankruptcy filing. Her reported income back then was about $57,850 monthly. That's a strong income. That's a good, strong income. About $55,000 of that came from her business as a recording artist. I believe she was receiving around $2,000 from child support and a very small amount from royalties. Once again, those contracts are horrible. Now understand that $55,000 is coming from live performances. You know, she has to actually grind and sing for that money. She doesn't just have mailbox money coming to her based off the sales of those records. We'll get into that. Now, let's take a look at the expenses. Her expenses were basically the same amount of money of her income. We're talking about $57,230 worth of monthly expenses. So if her income was $57,850 and her expenses was $57,230, this is the very definition of living paycheck to paycheck. Now, you think you're the only person with this problem. You think because you make $6,000 a month or $8,500 a month, you're living paycheck to paycheck and you're wishing on a star that maybe you get discovered singing to yourself at a gas station and it'll solve all your money problems. This right here is proof that that is not necessarily true. You can live paycheck to paycheck making $50,000 a year, and you can live paycheck to paycheck making $5 million a year. It's all about financial planning. Now, what were her expenses? Now, a big chunk of that is going to the IRS. $24,500 a month is going to the IRS. What's the problem? Well, the problem is this. If you have $24,000+ going to the IRS for a back bill, here's my question. How much money can you afford to put off to the side for the current tax bill? Let that sink in for a second, because I think that's gone over some people's heads. If you have a back tax bill that is forcing you to make a payment plan of $24,000+ every month for the back bill, that means you have to be generating enough money to make that payment. Here's the double whammy again. If I'm generating enough monthly income to pay a back bill to the IRS of $24,000+, how in the hell am I going to pay the taxes on the current money that I'm making to pay off the IRS for the back bill? That's the problem. That's why tax planning is a big thing listen, that is pocket watch your money rule number 5. Tax planning. You have to do it or you end up in this tax debt spiral that Toni Braxton found herself in. Now, she had other expenses. Now, the weird thing is she only reported $1,000 a month in mortgage payments. Even if we're talking about 2010, that is extremely low. And we'll go over why that's extremely low. Let's take a look at the value of the property. Based on the bankruptcy filing, the value of the property was $1.2 million. So even back in 2010, $1,000 a month for a mortgage on a property that was $1.2 million does not make sense to me. But hey, if that's what they put on the bankruptcy paperwork, I have to go with it. That's what they said it was. All right. Now, that was her appreciating asset. It was the real estate. But that real estate was burdened by a bunch of heavy liens against it, most likely with the IRS and other people who she owed money to, the mortgage and all that. So, yeah, she had a nice appreciating asset, but it was burdened by a bunch of liens. Let's talk about now the depreciating asset, the stuff that you buy that goes down in value after you buy it. She had personal property of like 421 plus $1,000. A part of that included a 1995 Porsche, a 2005 GMC Yukon, and she had some personal household goods and clothing and jewelry. Let's talk about this debt. Here we go. Now, believe me when I say this, it's going to sound ridiculous, but this is what is in the official court paperwork. Her liabilities, her debts totaled over $18 million. All right. Now, once again, I got to call back to the earlier issue. All of this is not money that she spent herself. Okay. This is from the horrible contracts that these rappers and R&B stars signed. According to the paperwork, over $16 million was owed between Arista and Atlantic Records. Okay. Once again, dealing with the horrible music industry business side is going to come up time and time again when we talk about these bankruptcy breakdowns. What were her other debts? All right. Now, she owed about $734,000 to the IRS based off just 2007, 2008, 2009. So that's 3 years of tax debt that she owed. She also owed some consumer debt. Now, this is 100% on her, right? 100% on her. She owed Tiffany's like $15,000, Neiman Marcus by almost $7,000 in credit cards. Let's have a conversation about the credit cards. All right, here we go. The credit cards. She owed City National Bank over $709,000. $709,000. Now, 52,620 was credit cards. She had a line of credit of $657,139. What does that mean? It means it does not matter how much money you make. You can get addicted to spending other people's money real fast. I mean, real fast. That's why whenever you use debt, you use credit, you have to think of it differently. It cannot be the thing that bridges the gap between the money that you don't have and the things that you want to have. I use my credit card as security only. I do not spend a penny on a credit card that I do not already have in the bank to pay off the credit card. I use it for security, for convenience. It should not be used as, oh, now I got more money. Because it's not your money, it's the bank's money, and they're going to want it back, and they're going to want it back at a high interest rate. All right. Now, she also had, it looks like, some legal fees from some a law firm. That's almost $80,000, $76,140.60. I don't know what they were doing to earn that money, because if these are her lawyers, why is she in this horrible, horrible contract with these record labels? And why does she owe the IRS so much money? That brings me to the next people. Her business management. She owed them $13,000. Once again, what are you doing? Clearly, you're not helping her prepay her tax bill, because she wouldn't be paying the IRS $24,000+ a month on the back bill. So once again, just because you hire people does not mean that they're going to do the best job, but at least she isn't stuck with a horrible tax bill because she went to some goofies online, because this was back in the 1990s. Now, let's take a look at the real estate. The real estate looks like she had a couple of liens and some mortgages from Wells Fargo. There was a mortgage for $1,486,958.17, and there was a line of credit or equity that she pulled out of the property of $102,182.79. Not a big fan of pulling equity out of the personal house, especially when you're so off on your budget, right? She is so off on her budget that pulling equity out of the home is not helping her. It's just adding more weight around her neck, keeping her from actually having financial freedom. Let's take a look at this IRS debt as well. $733,990.11. This is part of that $24,000+ a month that's going to the IRS for the back bill. Ridiculous. All right, now let's run the numbers. Let's have a financial reality check. What would Toni Braxton would have had to be making to make her lifestyle sustainable? As a financial planner, we teach our clients, listen, if you're able to keep up with a 50-30-20 budget, you should not go broke. What does that mean? That means that you are able to budget the money that comes into your pockets, and you're able to spend 50% of the money that comes in should go towards your needs. 30% of your money should go towards your wants, while 20% can go towards saving and investing. All right. For her to be able to do that, that would mean her net income every month would have needed to be $114,460. Okay. That is an annual income of $1.3+ million. Not hard to do when you are an R&B star, but the problem is money comes in and out sporadically. She may get chunks of money 2 or 3 months out of the year, and then little to nothing in other months. So you have to be able to budget the money in the right way. That means every single month, based on the way that she was spending her money, she was short by $56,610. Oh my God. Now, there is a good ending to this story. So, Miss Braxton, in the year of 2025, 2026, right now, she is in a much better place because she was successful in this bankruptcy. She was able to walk away from much of this debt and recover. She is now, reportedly, she is now worth between $10 to $12 million. That is her current net worth based on the reports that I have. And she is now in a much better position. Why? I'm assuming, even though she's not a client of mine, I'm assuming that after she was able to walk away from this debt, she changed up her spending habits. She changed the way that she viewed money and her relationship with money. And I'm telling you guys, you should be able to do that right here, right now. I am giving you guys an opportunity at no cost to change your financial life by actually applying sound financial planning methods. I've made this as simple as possible. Here are the 7 pocket watcher money rules. Number 1, budgeting. Number 2, emergency savings. Number 3, debt planning. Number 4, insurance planning. Number 5, tax planning. Number 6, wealth planning. And number 7, estate planning. If you are able to follow these 7 pocket watcher money rules, I can tell you right now, I can guarantee you, you will not go broke. Now, will this make you a multimillionaire? I cannot say yes. I have no idea how much money you make. But if you follow these 7 rules, you will find financial peace in your life, and you will not end up having to file for bankruptcy. Now, to help you out, I have a free financial planning app. All you have to do is go to the website pocketwatcher.net. Click the free app button, sign up. All you have to do is put in your email, create a password, and you have access to financial planning tools. You can create your own budget. You can create your own debt payoff plan, all within the app. And the Pocket Watcher 7 Money Rules is also in that app. Now, if you have a question for the Pocket Watcher, a question that you want to run by a certified financial planner, or if there is a celebrity out there who has filed for bankruptcy and you would like JT, the Pocket Watcher, to do a bankruptcy breakdown, go to the website, pocketwatcher.net, click the Ask JT button, fill out the form, and when I get time, I'll do the best I can to get you an answer. Thanks for watching.
Are you looking for real financial advice? Thornton Financial is here to help. Certified financial planner Jayson Thornton specializes in tax and wealth planning. Are you living paycheck to paycheck with no retirement plan? Do you need help with the IRS? Book your free consultation with Thornton Financial today. Budgeting, savings, debt management, and retirement. Even tax debt settlements. Get the advice you need to live your best life. Book your free consultation appointment today. Go to www.thornton-financial.com.